some credence to what the mom-in-law is saying, because she knows this person. We don't know him.
Right.
Julie, do you think that there is something to be said about your mother-in-law calling it crocodile tears?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly, because if she thought that there's no way he could have done this, she's going to be the first person coming to his aid and saying, there's no way he would have done this to my daughter. There's no way, you know, and begging the police not to move forward with charging and with prosecution. And she's saying, yeah, he can cry like that. It's in an instant. And it's been such a distraction overall. That's why, you know, he may think this is being helpful. Like I said before, I think it cuts both ways, and both sides can use that. Certainly the defense is going to put on a presentation of this is grief, manifesting that he's mourning the loss of his wife. And if I'm the prosecutor, I'm going to be saying, hey, look, this is a display for the members of the jury. We didn't hear those tears initially when that 911 call was made. Or we didn't see, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Or hear it in his voice is what I'm trying to say. We can't see it, obviously, but
Perfect.
you could just tell he was very composed.
Yes.
At the start of that call, he wasn't screaming and out of control. He got a little more animated as the call went on. But his daughter, that 911 call when she witnessed her grandmother being shot, that gave me chills.
Yeah, the 12-year-old.
That was horrific. That's the kind of reaction you expect when someone sees a loved one dead, a loved one murdered. I mean, that's the kind of reaction, a loved one killed in any way, that's the kind of reaction you expect.
Chinwe, let me just tell you something. You probably are watching, because I know you're a big CourtTV girl, but our first trial, and I'm going to make a comparison. Julie knows where I'm going with this. Our first trial, Georgia versus McNabb and Bell, you can get it on CourtTV.com and all our devices, but it's on our Trials on Demand. During that trial, the defendant McNabb was, oh no, it was Courtney Bell, excuse me. One of the defendants, Courtney Bell, was crying, and I didn't think she was being very animated. I thought she was kind of keeping to herself but crying. But the judge admonished her for making such displays. Perhaps the reasoning is what Julie was saying, distraction in the courtroom. Do you think that Michael Colucci's behavior is distracting in front of the jury, and should the judge step in?
No, I don't think it's distracting, and I think jurors expect, you know, someone who's distraught, especially hearing that gut-wrenching call, to cry. So no, I don't think it's distracting at all.
Do you think it was appropriate? Is it inappropriate or improper for a judge to intervene on someone's display of emotion, especially an accused person?
I think a judge has to keep, maintain the courtroom. So if it's overly, distracting, then I can expect a judge would stop and intervene and say something. But Michael Colucci, I think that, it seemed believable to me.
Yeah, no, but Julie, I think that's a really good point about the distraction. I'm glad you brought it up, and I'm glad we got to reference our debut trial.
That's a great, I'm glad you brought that up too.
Yeah. So, okay, there's someone else who thinks Michael Colucci is perhaps being genuine. His brother, Stefan Colucci, he spoke in an interview about how Michael was waking up in the middle of the night, just devastated about this incident and crying and being emotive as well. So let's take a look at that.
He wakes up in the middle of the night screaming and crying that he couldn't resuscitate her. He puts a lot of the blame on himself.
Okay, so that's Stefan Colucci, who is endorsing his brother's emotions, saying that, this is somebody who just is taking so much guilt. Keeping that in mind, Chinwe, do you think that in order for the jury to understand Michael Colucci's emotions, he has to testify in this case?
I think it would be helpful. Yeah, you definitely want to show the jury this person. And I think family members, help in, because a lot of times the jury just see the person sitting there at the defendant's table.
Right.
So they're just a defendant. So sometimes having a family member brings that person, they become a real person. The jury, begins to see that this is a person with a family, with emotions. And I think that definitely would be helpful.
Julie, you've been watching Savage every single minute of the day. You haven't missed a moment of this really renowned defense attorney and very skilled. Does it seem now that Mr. Savage is the type of lawyer who's going to encourage his client to testify, especially in this trial?
I don't think so.
Really?
Just my guess. I don't think so.
Wow.
I think he's trying to be kind of the star of the trial. I think he comes off as likable to many people watching.
Yeah.
Some people don't care for his style. I mean,
you
it
seeing
works
that on
for
social
him.
media?
I am. I'm seeing a lot of that, and I'm not overly impressed with him. I'm going to be honest with
You're
you.
not?
No. I think that he has a style that works for him, which is great. I think it comes off very authentic to who he is. He's a soft-spoken guy. He's very gentle in his questioning, but I would never cross-examine anyone with open-ended questions in the way he's doing. I would never make personal comparisons, because what's going on in his personal life, his wife, whatnot, it's all, yeah, I mean, he's doing a lot to try to ingratiate himself with a jury, and he could draw objections. They're not objecting, so that's their fault, but it could be seen as improper. It's not
Chinwe,
relevant.
last word,
He
girl.
knows his audience. When I'm in, in a certain area, I know that sometimes, jurors, and maybe in a big city, are looking for me to be aggressive.
Yeah.
But he knows his audience. This is South Carolina, low country. He's relating to them. He's soft-spoken. This is a man that they can trust, and they probably see him going to the grocery store, and they probably like him. So he's playing to his audience. I think he's doing a great job.
I think I need the both of you back for closing arguments so that I can really find out, how this all plays out, because this would be interesting.
It's too soon to tell.
But
with him.
I love this. I love this fortune telling of the lawyering. Thank you both so much. Okay, we will get back to our Southern murder mystery.